Welcome, Henry. It's so good to see you, and welcome anyone else watching. My name is Nicola Energy. I'm an energy mastery guide, intuitive, and healer, and I am here to unlock all the energy you want to help you create a life that fits you like magic. And I'm so excited to be here with Henry today. He's going to be sharing with us his journey with energy as medicine and how that has helped him in his life. And Henry is an amazing composer and musician. So I'd love you to share with us, whereabouts in the world are you, and tell us a little bit more about what you do. Tell us a little bit more about the music that you create, Henry.
I live in Los Angeles, California, and I am a composer and musician and songwriter and music director. And I've been doing that my whole life in some way.
Amazing.
And what else?
What
Uh,
instruments do you, what are your favorite instruments?
my primary instruments are piano and guitar and saxophone. And then I play a myriad of other instruments as well, occasionally like
Amazing.
accordion and woodwinds and yeah. hmm
Yeah, awesome. And you've been doing this your whole life. So, did you know from when you were really young that you were meant to be a musician, not just for fun, but also professionally? Was that something that you felt like you knew inside?
Yes, I never it has never not been a part of my consciousness that we had a piano in my house and I can only remember just wanting to know how to play it and I would dink around when I was a child aimlessly but yeah, I've always been like that is the only option that I'm going to make music.
That's so awesome. And was that the same for your siblings, or are they also musicians, or were you really the one who is flying the musical flag?
They are musically talented. They are musicians, but it's not a big part of their life. And no, they didn't have that same fire.
Yeah. And where did you think you got that from? Was that something to do with your parents, or it was just in you?
My mom is a piano teacher, or when I was young, she was a piano teacher and voice teacher and singer, and she still is all of those things. So she was definitely the role model for that. Like it just made sense that that's what she does. That's what
Yeah.
I'll do.
Yeah, amazing. And then you've got that guidance in the home that makes such a
Mhm.
massive difference.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so let's talk about how music can relate to energy. I'd love to know, when did you start to get curious about energy?
It wasn't until my late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I had not made the connection. I thought I didn't even think about how music literally is vibrations. It
Mm-hmm.
was just music. But in my late 20s, as most people in their 20s are, I was kind of a mess and going through lots of different changes, even like ideological changes about life and whatnot. And I was in a bad relationship and met with this healer online who sent after the session sent me the video of your daily routine, and
Oh,
that was truly the first time I really started thinking about energy outside of like like joules or whatever like
yeah.
science, what you learn about in physics.
Yeah,
um,
totally.
it was the first time I considered that I was an energetic being, and that was really foreign to me at first. But yeah, truly, the video of the daily routine, and that's when I started thinking about energy, how I am energy, and how all things are energy, including music, or especially music.
Yes. Yeah, that's so
um,
cool. And for
yeah.
anyone watching, that video is on YouTube. And that was something that was taught to me by an incredible energy mentor called Donna Eden, who's American. And it's a sequence of moves which take about 10 minutes. And it's an incredible way to give you the tools and the techniques in quite a practical way to ground your energy, to come back to your center, to balance your nervous system, to create crossovers. And you can find that on on my YouTube channel, Nicola Energy. So for anyone watching who wonders what that is, it is really a foundation that was part of my training. I went through a 4-year training with Donna Eden, incredible faculty, and her teaching is just beyond. It can totally change your life. So I love that that was the first insight into a practical way to connect with energy. And so what you mentioned, you were experiencing some challenges in life, but just before we started working together, we've actually worked together in group programs and also one-on-one online. So I'd love to know, was there something specific, or what was the problem, what was the issue that you were like, right, I have to find a solution and now is the time? What was going on?
Uh, I was just feeling extremely anxious and had a poor outlook on my life, and was in a romantic relationship and also just friendships that were not like healthy or positive or yeah, just all these different things because I was just really kind of trapped in
Mm-hmm.
a state and not willing to budge because I was only able to like use my brain and try to think of like just using my past
Mm-hmm.
as a way, like the data I have from my past to like figure out the future, which is a dead end. And
I
so
love the way you
that
describe that as using the data of my past to, like,
yeah,
extrapolate my future. And it's like,
yes,
and at the level of mind, oh dear, that is how we get stuck. And I recognize that because that has been me and can still be me sometimes. So I
yes.
hear you so much.
Yeah, it's all that information from the past is to be I guess there's wisdom in it, but only if you use it as like a launching pad for newness,
Yeah.
like unimaginable things, and you know,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, all those things, and it was during like the first year of COVID-19, like that. So
Mm.
things, I did not have anything going on, and someone recommended that healer to me, and I was like, well, why not? Like, I'm interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that was kind of, yeah, I just reached a low point and the world had literally stopped. So I was like, well, I guess I'll try something new.
Yeah. Amazing. And so when we started working together, did you find it easy to make these new connections with energy? Or just tell me a little bit about that process of opening up to energy, because you said you didn't really connect to energy before. So yeah, tell me about, did that feel easy, or yeah, how did that process feel for you, if you can remember or think back?
Well, so before we met, when I started doing the daily routine video, that healer had said, do this video every day.
Mm-hmm.
So the first day I did it, the first time I tried it was very powerful. I felt like waves going through my body because I had never done anything like that. So my body was like, this is
It's
amazing.
like, give me the juice.
Yeah, yeah. And the second day and the third day, they were all good. And then slowly it wasn't as like potent. But I remembered she said like this will only like change your life if you do it every day. So even though like those like amazing shockwaves of energy like lessened, I just kept at it. And slowly, maybe after a few months, I did start to feel like, oh, I'm like not always jumping to the worst possible conclusion anymore. This friendship is sort of fading naturally, the toxic ones and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so that's when I was like, wow, there's something to this. And then I started watching a lot of your other videos, and then I subscribed to, your emails. So
Mm.
then when I finally went to a session or to a group session, I was like very eager and open to it. And I think And so then in that first group session, that same type of like powerful experience was back. And it's because I was completely eager and open and enthusiastic about it,
Yeah, that's so
because I had,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
you made the
foundation.
choice to be
Yeah.
open. And yeah, like that, building that foundation, literally creating cohesion in your geometry by doing these really simple energy as medicine techniques
Hmm.
is so powerful because it is like dialing you in. You are an instrument. You are the
Yeah.
instrument. We need to like tune ourselves to allow
Yes.
that note, that frequency, our own unique frequency, to allow that creative, intelligent life force that pervades all things to literally tune and play through us. So,
Yes, that's
what
such
you were
a good
doing.
metaphor. Yeah, when
Yeah.
you if a guitar is out of tune, you can strum it and it'll make sounds, but it doesn't sound good, first of all.
Yeah.
But also then once you tune it, it like rings because those
Yes.
intervals are perfect. They're divine intervals, and they you can feel when you make that first strum after you've tuned, it's like um and you know it works. You know if you tune these knobs, like it will make that clear ringing sound. And so by the time I showed up to my first group session with you, I was like, I know by doing this, I'm going to ring.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that is crucial to why when I first started working with you, I was able to just like dive in and have it be effective right away because I was like, because I believed fully, I knew that it
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
help.
That's amazing. And that's why it's such an absolute pleasure. It's like, right, you're plugged in, let's go. Very good. An absolute joy. Thank you. So then let's go into perhaps what have been some insights from our one-on-one sessions. We've done quite a few one-on-one sessions together. We worked together for about 3 months, and we've intensively, and we've done some other check-in sessions. So what have been some insights, whether that's energetically or mentally or emotionally? Yeah, what is there anything which just feels big for you that's landed since opening to this energy work?
Um, in the individual sessions, the okay, thinking time. I have to find the
Yeah,
right
no,
word.
totally. I'm putting you on the spot here because also it was a little while ago, so it's like to pull out something specific might be difficult. But
Well, it's like, where do I start?
yeah, okay, yeah, take your time.
It's first of all, the intensity in a good way of meeting with someone in real time is even more helpful for dropping in to a deep spiritual place pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even and in a group, it's powerful, and then when it's one on one, it's
Mm,
really like 'cause having all your attention on
mm,
me like really helps me just drop in.
mm,
And every time we had a session, I would go places,
mm.
in the energy field, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
And how do you perceive, like everyone's very different, sometimes it can be a feeling or a knowing or very visual. Everyone perceives in slightly different ways or combinations of different ways. So for you, were you seeing in your third eye, or were you having a feeling or a sense, or yeah, just what can you describe the sense of that space? You say you drop in powerfully, it's like we plug you into this channel. How have you connected? How has it showed up for you, that information?
Definitely visual because I can
Mm-hmm.
even remember the visuals from them.
Mm,
Um, like there have been really powerful times when I've felt like one particular when I felt like I was at the tip of a boat, like cruising over like a flat expanse of water.
yeah.
Um, like and it was so crystal clear. Like it feels like it was a real memory. A memory
Yeah.
from space time.
No, totally. And
Um,
that's like that impacts your body chemistry. It's like that was real. That felt real. It's almost like everything has activated in you. So that's so
yes.
cool.
Yes. And with those visuals does come feelings as well.
Mm,
like my body always becomes so relaxed and feels just really good. It never feels uncomfortable or painful, even if we are digging into, murky waters of my memories. It is always very like I feel safe. Everything's in motion. There's room for things to move around and, bubble to the top. And like that is definitely a feeling I associate
Mhm.
w- during a reading. Um, and then there have also been like words or sentences, phrases that have come through, or even like through like a some type of being or entity has like spoken things, and I've seen kind of sort of seen them, and but definitely heard. Um,
Yeah,
and
and just to let people know, when I guide people to a healing place to plug into this channel, I also work with a guide team called the Spirit Doctors, and they are a multi-dimensional team of shamans and healers, some of which have walked on the earth plane, some of which have not. They work with technologies of light. And so it can be that you will connect with a presence, a sense of a shaman or a being of light in some way, and everyone has a unique perception that is absolutely valid. It's everyone's completely unique in the way that they perceive that, but that can be why that you experience that sense of a presence or something is there, someone is there. So just to add that.
yes, yeah. And also like kind of ancestors, like, or people that have passed in my life, I've felt their presence. Or like kind of like archetypal presences. Like I remember there's
Mm-hmm.
like a dragon and stuff like that. Like all sorts of different
Yeah,
kind of whatever you need comes through.
I remember the dragon. That was like one of the first sessions. That was cool.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
that realm of mythology. It's a morphic field where mythology has a presence and it has an energy that we can plug into that's not within our usual realms of perception. And it is so powerful. That's why mythology is such a foundation of the human experience. It is such a powerful place to go with our subtle energy. So yeah, I love that.
Hmm. Yeah. It's yeah, I the information I receive, always it's always visuals or metaphors or whatever that I will understand.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's communicating with you in a way that you will understand. It's bringing you information. And
Hmm.
that might feel cryptic at first if you're not used to the symbols or the language of intuition or the subconscious, but it becomes something that really does bring you power if you're open to receive the fact that it's bringing you something that is there to empower you.
Yes, yes, yes. Also, and this, and with the individual sessions, the other really powerful and helpful thing is each time the different like energy movements you give us, or different points where we place
Yeah,
our hands, and like those, it's different every time. And so it feels really in the moment, and it's been so easy to apply those after the sessions. Um, like everything I've learned, those different, they're just these simple things that I use throughout the day, every day, since learning them.
that's
And
awesome.
because I learned them like in the with you and related to my specific experience, they feel extra powerful.
Yeah, yeah,
Because they're directly related.
yeah, it's really there to balance your energies. And just to give a little bit more information on that, as part of a one-on-one session, we always tune into your unique frequency. And our objective is to ensure that you commune with your energies and hold space for yourself. And that means balancing your frequency. And we can tune in to find out what frequencies, what points can you hold that are unique to you and your energies in that moment that will help you hold cohesion for this journey that we go on. And they're so simple. Those ones that you were touching on your face, neurovascular points that ground you. There's heart points. So that can be a myriad of combinations and possibilities. But yeah, I find that bringing that energy as medicine into the spirit doctor journeys really does anchor everything. And I love that you feel that it's easy to use them after the session. It's like your body wants them, remembers them, and it activates that stability easily because of it.
Yeah. And having, lots of teachers will tell you go into meditation many times throughout the day. But it's easier said than done. But when you have emotion you can do with it, like just going like this, it's so much easier to drop into a meditative state 10 times a day if you have something to go with it. It's like a doorway.
A
Um,
switch, a guide, a doorway. Yeah, however you
yeah,
want to describe it. That's it, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah.
brilliant.
And I've done them so much every day that I know what to do if I am feeling, a lot of energy. I intuitively I don't think, okay, which point should I hold? I just go to it. I'm like, it's this. I know, I just my body tells me where to go. Um,
Yeah, amazing. So, how have these tools and these connections to this energy and this realm, how has that helped you in your everyday life? So, we were thinking back to where you were, which was some relationships that were a bit toxic. It was COVID, so not much was going on with your music at the time. And, it was a time of transition and like, yeah, you felt stuck in a state. Whereas now, like, yeah, how have you noticed that these energy shifts have showed up around you in your life, whether that's with people or your music? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Everything has changed and it feels like this. It feels like I was facing this way and now it's slowly made me face this way.
Cool.
And this way feels really good.
Yeah,
Um,
love it.
but it's all gradual like you do get an immediate feeling of relief and love and peace, like, but also also requires the not it
Yeah,
takes contemplating it every day and revisiting and thinking about the things you wrote down from the session. And because the funny thing is, all these changes, it's been 3 or 4 years, they're so gradual, I can't even place like where they happened. It,
yeah. Yeah.
um, but
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
up to you to land it, basically. That's what
yes,
I always say. It's like we change this in the realm of a dimension that's not even comprehensible to our human mind, but we have a glimmer and we have something we can hold on to with the statements or the words or the symbols. But then you have got to land it, you've got to reel
mhm.
it into 3D. And so I love that you say, yeah, it's because of the work that you've done. You've taken responsibility, you've reflected, you've put it into action, and you have created that shift. And it's like, yeah, just 1 degree at a time. And now it's like, cool, we're off.
Yeah, that tuning, the major tunings from the individual sessions, and then the tiny tunings you do every
Mm,
day, like, yeah, set the frequency so you are just kind of a little more guided towards the things that are for you. Um, like, yeah, I was in an unhealthy relationship, and now I'm in a like unbelievably wonderful relationship. But it wasn't like a that ended and then this appeared. It just, and the way I met this new person is so you could never have predicted or like wrote a story about. It's just too. It's just inexplicable.
so
Um,
are you willing to share a little bit more about that? Is that um, how you met them? Do you mean just it was totally random, or it was unexpected? Is that what you mean?
Unexpected, yeah. Like the doing this work slowly, just made me start to feel better day to day. So when you feel better, you make better choices for yourself. And all those choices lead up to all these different events, that all these possibilities in every day. So yeah, I met my partner in a very unexpected random way, but yeah, I can also trace back all these different decisions or like seemingly abstract events that all led
Led
to
to
me.
that. Yeah, it's like you were saying yes, 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 seemingly random choices, but it was actually the path that led you to that meeting.
Yes, and without doing this energy work, I would just keep using that data from the past and keep ending up in the same situations. I keep meeting people who make me feel this way, or where, or we just don't align.
Yeah,
And same thing with my music, or just career, but more importantly my music. Like I was in situations where I wasn't really using my full gifts, where I wasn't being treated well, where I was um and just not being able to take care of myself fully. And slowly, 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 all these, it just has like blossomed into this entirely new musical life that I have. And I have my own like library of my own compositions, and I am playing music in an entirely new way, and singing in a new way, and even experiencing music, listening to music in a new way. It brings me even more joy than it ever has before, because I'm just more awake, I guess.
yeah, amazing. I love it. And so, what are your hopes for 2024? If you could kind of like, put a wish list down for the future with your music or with your expression, what would that be? What do you want to show up for you? What do you want to create?
I want to keep like riding this ship forward of like sharing my own music and meeting people who respond to it, who are like into it, and making music and art, collaborating. I don't know, just trying to like put out good vibrations with like what comes naturally to me.
Yeah,
That's like what I want this year to be and my life to be. I want to like, I know there's something unique and healing inside of me, and I just want that channel to be like open and to pour out and find the other people who are doing that. And I want to um yeah, I want my life to have a part in making the world a more peaceful, loving place with what I have.
yeah, yeah, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And that's, yeah, when we are so connected to who we are and how we can express ourselves, that just comes from being yourself, just being totally authentically yourself. And that can be scary. But when we break through that, it's actually relaxing and it feels very exciting. So it feels
Yes,
like you're like, yeah, you're in this time of expansion, more expansion into that authenticity, that resonance that is just uniquely you.
yes, yeah.
Amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to add or say before we close off for today, or just yeah, anything at all about energy in general, or any other insights?
I would say that I made my energy work and just like spiritual health my number one priority a few years ago. And
Nice.
I think that will just remain for
Yeah,
the rest of my life. It is like the North Star for my life. Everything else comes along when that is tuned up. Everything else
cool.
flows. And it takes it kind of takes a big leap to make that choice, to make this your number one thing. And I would just encourage anyone that it to make the leap.
Yeah,
It
that's
will,
so wise.
like, you can start trying to fix this or that or this, but like if then something else is just going to get abandoned while you're fixing it. But if you start with like,
Yeah,
you know,
start at the top, start with the energy, the frequency, the spiritual anchor, and everything else kind of like falls into place.
yeah, yeah, there's so many things that you think you have to fix or whatever, but once you start doing energy work, it kind of a lot of it just works itself out.
Yeah, totally. Because actually, thinking back to me back in the day, you're just like obsessing about problems on the outside and the external world. And then slowly you start to think, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it's
Yes.
actually inside of me, which is an energetic, spiritual channel connection in some way. So, yeah, that is such a brilliant piece of advice. Make that the anchor and everything else falls into place. That is so brilliant.
Yeah, which includes like thinking about it every day and consuming material and words and books, anything. Just I inundated myself with it.
Yes.
And the more you understand the language of it, the more you get from it, and then pretty soon that is like that becomes your foundation.
Yeah, and I think I remember you saying one time actually, you were like, I can't believe they don't teach this in schools, as
Yes.
in the basics of energy, how to be grounded, how to balance your nervous system. All those tools which actually bring a kind of organization into your energy body that, of course, then shows up physically, emotionally, and mentally. So,
Yes.
yeah, it is if they did teach this in schools, it would be absolutely amazing. What they do teach in schools is E equals mc squared from my physics class, which is energy is matter and light all combined together. So, yeah, it is unbelievable that we don't have these understandings because we are beings of subtle energy. So, yeah, that would be good.
Yes. It's flabbergasting that's not taught in schools
Because it has
or
such a
anywhere.
profound effect. And also for people like you and me who are sensitive and creative, that kind of resiliency can be knocked off so much in a school environment or the modern world. So these
Yeah.
tools are even more essential for the creatives, the sensitives, the deeply empathetic, musical, artistic individuals of the world.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And just imagine like kids are so receptive. If you could teach a child this, so then they could, I mean, they would just set the frequency for their life so early. Like they didn't, I found this at age like 27 or 28. And I just think, wow, what if I'd been doing this for, or no, more like 30, 31.
Yeah, I
Excuse
was also
me.
30, 31 when I found this. I'm 43
Yeah.
now. But yeah, totally. It was like, oh my God, I'd been grinding to a halt up to 31. And then
Yeah.
suddenly it was like, right, solutions needed that are not
Yes.
available.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? And it's not to say that we're not going to experience challenges of life, but it gives us the tools and the toolkit to be able to navigate those with
Yes.
more resilience and more capability.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the space for when a challenge arises, the space around it to not feel just stuck inside it, but to be able to see the challenge for what it is and understand how you can apply different techniques or, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's ultimately empowering, isn't it?
entirely.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to have this opportunity to really chat to you. And I'm just so honored to have been part of your journey, your energy journey. And I can't wait to hear more of your music. And may 2024 be filled with beautiful connections and a symphony of compositions.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Take care.